Hello everybody, my name is Elena. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is a 2024 TBR. I am so excited. I recently discovered the art of booktube and I think I'm obsessed. So that's what this video is, a end of December into January to be read list. So let's just jump on in because I'm so excited and I have way too many books that I just bought, so. Woo! So I have a mix of Christian books and then a major amount of them are just books you've probably seen floating around TikTok. So let's just jump right in. I'm so jazzed. The first book, I'm also late to a lot of book trends. Don't come at me, okay? The first book that I have is The 7-Year Slip, which I've been super excited to read. It is by Ashley Poston and it's just a rom-com. I'm very jazzed. I cannot wait to read this and see what it's all about. It's giving Dead Romantics cover, but I've heard good things, so book number 1 on the TBR. The second book on my TBR for 2024 is a little older and it came out a little while ago. It is Find Your People by Jenny Allen. I'm actually just graduated college and I'm moving to Virginia Beach. So there's a lot of change happening and I just am very interested to talk about community and see her thoughts on it. So I'm excited to see what this has to say. The next book, I've actually never read a book by this author before. I just am not a huge like adult romance reader, but young adult romance, 100%. So Allie Hazelwood came out with a young adult romance and it's called Check and Mate. I really don't know anything about any of the books that I have purchased, which is probably problematic, but it's about chess and love. So what could be better, you know? So I'm super jazzed to jump into that this next year. The next book that I got is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. Can we just appreciate the cover? I think it's very beautiful. It's very like serene vibes. And I know that Meryl Streep narrates this book. And so I kind of want to like half listen, half read this book because I've heard it's a really good, awesome book to, you know, just read. So can you tell I'm not a book YouTuber? I don't know how to do this yet. We'll learn together. Can't wait to read this in 2024. The next book, I actually heard Haley Pham talk about this a hot minute ago. This is like a while ago, but I just am almost finished with the Throne of Glass books. So I know I kind of like fantasy a little bit. So I picked up the Dance of Thieves book and this is by Mary E. Pearson and the cover is just gorgeous. Look at her. And I know there's another book in this series. It's like a duology, so there's 2 of them. So I'm really excited to read this and see if I like it. It's a little bit of a thick girl, but after holding Kingdom of Ash in my hand, it's basically nothing. So I'm super excited to read this. The next book on Kingdom of Ash's topic is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I know that I was technically supposed to read this after the 3rd or 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, but I didn't, and I don't really care. So I'm going to read this last, and I'm actually really excited to read this. I think it's like a few novellas in one book, but I definitely won't be able to read this before 2024, so that's why it's on the 2024 TBR. I am really excited to read it because I know it goes back into Selena Sardantian's past, and I'm really hoping it talks about Sam in that book, so I'm super excited to read it. The next book is a classic, and I actually love the cover of this book, and I think that's 90% of the reason I bought it. It's called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and it is by Betty Smith, and I'm pretty sure it's just kind of about a girl who goes to college. I'm not really sure. It is a classic though, and it's kind of like I have this idea in my head that it's gonna be like watching an episode of Friends because you're just kind of reading about this girl's life and it's not like mundane, but it's not like a thriller. So I'm kind of excited to see where this book takes me, and it's very beautiful, so that just automatic bonus points. We're gonna throw in a little bit of nonfiction with all of these TikTok reads. The first book that I got that's nonfiction is by R.C. Sproul and it's called Making a Difference. This book is a great cover, actually. It's very cute. It's called Impacting Culture and Society as a Christian. My goal this year is to read way more Christian nonfiction books than I have been in the past several years. So I'm really excited to jump into this. My dad is actually like a theology nerd and has master's degrees in theology, and he loves R.C. Sproul, and I've never read a book by him, so I feel like it has a stamp of approval already, but I'm excited to read this. Next, this is probably my most favorite author, and it is another Christian author. I have just discovered A.W. Tozer, and I don't know why I haven't discovered him sooner. The book that I'm currently reading is actually by A.W. Tozer, and it is called Authentic Worship. First of all, the cover, chef's kiss, beautiful. This book is blowing my brains. Like, it's so good, and this is the first and only book I had by him ever. And I was like, you know what, I need 50,000 other books by this man because he writes so awesomely. So I bought 50,000 other books. The next book that I got is called Wingspread, and it's by Tozer, and it's a study in spiritual altitude. I have no idea what it's about. The cover could use some work, but I'm very excited. Oh, it's actually like a story of somebody's gospel transformation. That's fun. I'm excited to read this. It's gonna be awesome. So that's a Tozer book that I got. I also have 3 more, but we'll spread them out. I'm not gonna overwhelm you with all my Tozers yet. The next book I got, I am so late on the trends, by the way, y'all. Like, it is embarrassing. I got A Little Life. This is by, I literally can't read the name because the sticker's on the way, but I can't pronounce their name anyway. I'm so sorry. But I'm so excited to read this. Whoa, the print on this pages are so small. This will be interesting to read though. I've heard it makes you laugh, it makes you cry. So I'm actually really jazzed to read this because it just looks like a smart people book, and that's the only reason I read, obviously. The next book I got is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I've only read one of her books, and I think I was a sophomore in college, and it was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I really did enjoy reading that book. The way that she wrote it was really interesting, so I picked up Daisy Jones and the Sixth by her because I've heard about it, and I think it's a TV show now. Yeah, it's a now streaming series, and I don't want to watch it before I read the book, so that's why I got the book. So I don't really know anything about it. I don't really know anything about the books that I bought, but I'm excited to check this out and read it. I think it'll be good because her writing is pretty decent. I heard about this book, I think her name is Sarah, who did a video on reading this, The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, and it's a thriller book slash like mystery, I think, and basically this girl is a defense attorney for her cheating husband. Can I say more? Yes. Will I? No. It just sounds so intriguing. It's just like a whole situation. So I'm really interested to read this book. I am a huge thriller reader. Like, I ate up the Silent Patient book like nobody's business. So I'm kind of hoping it gives that vibe. I don't think it will, but fingers crossed. And you can see my laundry. It's fine. We're real over here. I'm just gonna be down here now because my legs fell asleep and they really hurt. So hey. The next book that I got, I read better than the movies. Obviously, chef's kiss, so good. So I got The Do-Over by Lynn Painter because I heard Haley Pham talk about it, so obviously I need to read it. I have a lot of rom-com-y vibes this year. I am very excited about it. I have not read anything other than Thermoplast in a very long time, so we need some versatility up in here. Next, I will share another Tozer book with you guys. This is A.W. Tozer's God's Pursuit of Man. I am so excited. Like, I know he's dead now, but if I could meet any author, it would be him. He's literally such a good writer. Like, you guys need to check him out. Like, he has really good books. I also got The Apostles' Creed by A.W. Tozer, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically just like, it's almost like a declaration in the Christian faith slash, I think maybe Catholic. I don't know, that's why I got it, because I need to learn more about it. So I'm really excited to kind of just read up on that and hear his thoughts and opinions on it, because I like hearing different people's perspectives on things, so that's really exciting. Next, I got this book I have not seen anyone talk about, and I found it in our local bookstore. It's called Tuesday Nights in 1980 by Molly Prentice. The cover, I think, is really what sold me because it just looks fun, but it's also a multiple perspective. Like, you get to read multiple perspectives. So I also think that's what drew me to it. but it just says it's about New York in the 80s. And it's a playground for artists and writers looking to make their mark on the ever-changing art scene. I'm very intrigued by this. I've had this for a while and I haven't read it yet. So definitely on my TBR list for 2024. All right, we're down to only 5 books. So she went on a spending spree. The next book, I actually have heard a lot of controversial emotions on Sally Rooney, but I didn't know that they made a series about normal people, and I haven't read the book yet, but I definitely would watch the series. So I think I'm gonna read it. Like, well, I don't think, I know I'm gonna read it. The thing that really hooked me in on this book was that she says it's a story of mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from the first conversation of the years beyond, in the company of 2 people who try to stay apart, but they can't. And I think that really drew me into the concept. Like, what is this going to be about? What are we really talking about? I'm interested to see how she writes. I know that people said she doesn't use quotation marks, so I don't really know how that's going to work in my brain, but I think I'll be able to follow along decently. I have had to peer review a lot of people's papers in college, so I feel like I have prepared for this moment. The next book is A Cloud by Day and a Fire by Night, Finding and Following God's Will for Your Life by A.W. Tozer. Don't worry, this is the last Tozer book, but I'm very excited. I have a lot of Tozer to keep me entertained this next year, so I'm jazzed. The next thing I got is probably gonna be random to you, but I have been looking for this for a year and a half and I haven't found the right one. So I finally found a CSB Christian Standard Study Bible thingy. I'm very excited about this. I like getting a new Bible every year. It makes me happy and kind of sees where you've studied throughout that year. So I'm really excited about this and I picked that up. And then I also got a new Bible study to go with it. My favorite Bible study author, Priscilla Schreier. This is her Bible study on Gideon. So I'm really jazzed to read that as well. And the last book, but not least, is a book that I never was able to get into when I was younger. The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. I just never was interested in it, and I think it's really because I hadn't ever read like fantasy or dystopia other than Divergent, and this was just too different from Divergent for me to want to read it. But now that everybody's been talking about A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I really do want to read the Divergent, the Hunger Games books. So I picked this up because I'm really intrigued because everybody's been talking about it recently. And I don't even have to do a reread of it because I never did a first read. So maybe I'll make a video of me reading all the books because I honestly don't even remember what happened in the movies. It's been that long. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am so excited to make new content this year and just kind of have the time to do more things. I have so much coming up. I have Berlin vlogs coming up soon. I have more book videos. I'm doing a video of me reading through the last book in the Throne of Glass series. I also am moving, so I have a lot of content for y'all coming up soon. If you don't really know what to expect from me, I'm an ADHD, Jesus-loving girl transitioning out of college into the real world. So if you relate to that, or if you are in high school and you're nervous for all the things coming up, stick around because I will be the big sister that you might never have had. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited and passionate about this. So I hope that you guys enjoy, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video.